Good's counting.
Okay. So today we're going to be doing a third grade math lesson over elapsed time, and we're going to start with our set model, and then we're going to do a linear model after that. In third grade, students are expected to add and subtract time within the intervals of 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and 45 minutes. So we're going to start with this first word problem. And in this word problem, we're going to have to convert a number from AM to PM. And a lot of students have problems with this, and it's a big misconception because most students are used to adding and subtracting within the base 10 system, and elapsed or time is within the base 60 system for minutes and the base 12 system for hours. And so that's something that you really have to remind students, oh wait, we're not in the base 10 system, we're in the base 60, and you'll see that later in this problem. So we'll start off by reading it. Abby wants to bake a cake. She puts the cake into the oven at 11:45 and needs to let it bake for an hour and 30 minutes. What time will the cake be ready? So we're going to put our start time in the time tracker, and this here is a really helpful thing for students because it helps them visualize how to keep track of their time. So we're going to start with 11, and you can put the dots just to help remind them. And I'm just going to put in parentheses AM right there so we're aware. And so you want to make the next jump to the hour. And so what we're going to do is we're just going to add 15 minutes. And when we add 15 minutes, it becomes 12. And we regroup. So once you add that 15 to 45, that equals 60. So you regroup it into the hours, and that becomes 12. And what we have to remind students is that the time is going to change from AM to PM. And so from there, we had an hour and 30 minutes to add. So we added 15, so we're going to take that away from our total. So we still need to add an hour and 15 minutes. So the next best way to do this is to add our biggest number. So we're going to go ahead and add 1 hour right here. And that's going to make it 1 p.m. And then we subtract our hour, and we have 15 minutes left. And we're just going to go ahead and add that last 15 minutes to arrive at our answer, 1:15 p.m. And so what we did there is we just kept track of what we needed to add, and we broke it down into even intervals. And sometimes what you can do is you can jump from 15, so you could go 11:45 to 12, and then you could do 12:15 if you wanted to do your two smallest intervals first, but you would have to do it within the 15 intervals because jumping to 30 is going to confuse them because they're going to have to go all the way to 12:30, and that's jumping from AM to PM, and we have to regroup our bases here. So that kind of gets a little confusing, and that's why I decided to break it up. 15, jump 1 even hour, and then add the 15 on the end. So this is our set model. Next, what we're going to do is we're going to use our same question to go over our linear model. And so we are going to use this number line I made. And I measured it out with a ruler, and that's really important. Your intervals need to be the same. They need to have even spacing so that it is an accurate demonstration of a linear model. It's based off of this smaller linear model, but I've enlarged it so that we can see what's going on a little bit better. And you can even have students do this. It's really helpful for them to see the spacing between each interval and how it'll work. So we'll read the question again. Abby wants to bake a cake. She puts the cake in the oven at 11:45 and needs to let it bake for 1 hour and 30 minutes. What time will the cake be ready? So what we need to do first is we need to find 11:45 a.m. on our number line. And so we find 11 a.m. right here. And then you have 11:45. So that's where this is on our number line right here. 45 minutes. Okay? And so basically we're going to be doing the same thing we were doing on our time tracker, but we're going to be jumping on a number line. So for this one, we're going to do the same thing. So we're starting at 11:45 right here. And what we're going to do is we're going to jump that first 15 minutes to 12. 15 minutes. So now we jump that 15 minutes to 12, and we need to add another hour. And so we're going to jump a full hour to 1 p.m. So that we've added an hour and 15 minutes. And all that's left now, if we look back, we're doing the exact same thing we did here. we took 15, we did an hour, and now all we have left is 15 more minutes. So we're going to jump that last 15 minutes right here. And that is going to leave us at our answer. Our answer is that the cake needs to be taken out of the oven at 1:15. So what you could do is, if you wanted to show subtraction for your students, you could say that Abby took her cake out of the oven at 1:15 and it baked for an hour and 30 minutes, and you could show them jumping backwards on the number line too, and that would demonstrate subtraction for the students. So that's our linear model, and that's pretty much it. Hit the button.